Look at me. Look at me. I am Twitter now. What's up, everybody?
I am the shit poster now.
Welcome to this hostile takeover of a fucking episode today where very weird white man takes over a whole company for how much again? 44? 54?
44 billion. Which coincidentally just happens to be how much the Double D experience is worth.
Yeah.
In my heart.
In pesos.
Real shit, it's probably in rubles right now. With how much that's
2022's evaluation for rubles. Like that's how much like our shit like is worth. But
welcome to the Double D experience. Sometimes what do we got?
Sometimes 54. I don't know. He bought it for 54.
Sometimes Tesla,
shares.
sometimes Twitter, but always for enough money that could have gone to solving world hunger. There we go. That's a good one. I like that. Dennis, what are we referring to today on the Double D Experience podcast by being hosted by David and Dennis, your two resident Ds? Your favorite Ds. Your favorite pair of Double Ds that get shoved in your face every single fucking Friday at noon p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
The D's meaning two dumbasses from New Jersey talking about things that are way out of their depth. But
Jessica literally said on Twitter that she literally said on Twitter is it was a very appropriate podcast for me to be on, like very appropriately named podcast for me to be on. What can I say? She's a fucking busty ass fucking woman. I just can't. And she owns it. She owns it. Whatever fucking cream that woman said that she had that made her titties bigger. I need some. I need some of that shit.
No, it was a crystal.
It was the crystals. Well, no, the crystals was what she hid. Whatever. Elon Musk.
You think Elon Musk just walks around with crystals all day? It's the reason why that he manages to get these deals through.
I feel like Grimes would have. Grimes would be walking around with some, badonkers in the front if that was the case at this point. But
could you imagine if Musk came out as one of those astrology motherfuckers? He's like, yeah, I believe in the stars and shit, and and the stars told me that I had to make an electric car.
So do I have to let Twitter know that
these crystals are what give Tesla its power?
The chaos emeralds.
Yeah, in the Tesla plants in fucking Texas, underneath, it's just the master emerald underneath.
It's like fucking Angel Island, but with cars. You just walk in. It is my duty to protect the master emerald. God.
Dude, I really wish he could have named his kid Sonic the Hedgehog.
Seems like the kind of rich person thing to do. What was Kanye West and Kim Kardashian's daughter's name? Fucking Blue Ivy, some shit like that.
Northeast.
Northeast.
Yeah, Northeast or Northwest. I don't know. I think that's an airline.
I love that joke, man. This kid's going straight to the top and slightly to the right. I love that shit.
But yes, guys, we're gonna make it just a little bit current events today. Since some big things did happen, but we're not gonna. We're also gonna be trying to keep this under an hour because we know your guys' attention spans don't go past that. So we'll be trying to shorten it for your own benefit. So you're welcome. I am a generous God, but yeah, today. So it's gonna be a little bit current eventsy, starting with in particular. Senor Musk has gone on and purchased Twitter for, as David, I believe, said, $44 billion, which I think is also $54.20 per share. So I believe from what I gleaned from certain, I guess, news articles that I got every now and then today, it seems as if the deal is already gone through. So now I believe it is up to the shareholders if they are willing to kind of have this go through.
Yeah.
Since they also have a stake in the company as well. But again, I'm not an expert on any of this. I just kind of read whatever I see off of a news article like a fucking troglodyte and just regurgitate it like every other person out there who reads anything from the news. I will admit I'm a hypocrite on that because I make fun of people who do that. But, yeah, so as far as this thing goes, Musk has already been making moves for the last year and a half already now at this point. And as everyone knows, Twitter is his obviously favorite social media platform, which is where he goes on and says things like, "Oh, Doge to the moon," and Doge has not gone to the moon at all.
And wah.
And wah. And so, I mean, we're gonna give a little bit of our thoughts today on this, and I think just starting off with me, I wish in another universe, like Marvel's multiverse. In the multiverse, I really wish Musk straight up just Thanos snapped fucking Twitter out of existence and just completely removed it off the face of the planet, because it is a cancerous ass platform. And for all you people who, at least, like, if you make your money off of Twitter, then, you know, like, I got nothing to say to you in that regard, but I just think the platform is not exactly the most positive influence in our lives, to be fair, just saying. And I'm not even on it. And as far as, like, I guess within our universe right now as to, like, how I feel about it, at first I was kind of indifferent, but the more I thought about it, the more I kind of just got like, TR, you got to break up these trusts. Like, I started to get like into that mood, because, you know, we already had like another big deal that went through with Microsoft and Blizzard, which, I mean, to be fair, like, in that acquisition, I still at least am on the side of the fence where I believe that it was a good thing and it will be a good thing, but it still kind of remains to be seen. And it also, like, my initial feelings towards it, I guess, like, thinking about it now, it, like, I don't know, I just don't like it, in my opinion, when CEOs just go around, like, just buying and acquiring, like, other companies, like, as if it's just like going to Walmart. It's like, oh yeah, I'll take that company for $44 billion. And I mean, you know,
a couch, a nice ficus, you know, the televisions they got in the corner, dude, they're on clearance, man. You know, just grab that shit for however much time off, and you know, those fuckers will never set foot in a Walmart.
They probably don't even know what a Walmart is. They probably, like, shop at Whole Foods or some, like, fucking bougie ass bullshit.
Yeah, but I get my TVs at Whole Foods.
But I still, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm really just kind of like, you know, oh, like, that's, like, you know, that was my initial feeling, just, like, about it initially. And I'm also very curious as to, like, you know, let's say down the line from a couple years. I'm also still kind of curious, like, half and half. Like, I'm curious as to, like, what he's gonna be doing on Twitter, what he's gonna do, what kind of decisions he's gonna make, since he's effectively, like, you know, the owner now. So, and I'm also wondering if people like David are just gonna be like, you know what, fuck Twitter, and probably never gonna use Twitter again, like, depending on, like, the decisions that he may personally make. But hey, those are my thoughts on it. Like,
a lot of people are saying that, and a lot of people said that they were gonna leave India when the last prime minister got elected. They didn't. A lot of people said they were gonna leave America when Trump got elected. They didn't.
People said shit and then didn't do it.
And a lot of people
always
are saying that they're gonna leave Twitter now that Musk owns it. And they won't. Maybe. Social media is a little different than, like, a world leader coming around, though. People don't want to just up and completely change their way of life. A social platform is a little bit different, though. Drastic changes have happened on social platforms many times in the past that have greatly changed them into something different, usually worse, or something that's just off-putting to its original user base that makes it change. I'm going to go out on a limb and remind everybody here that Patreon, which me and Dennis do not have. We're not plugging a Patreon right now. If you want to donate,
I was about to just scream out, like, check out our Patreon.
I was about to say, if you want to, like, donate to a Patreon, you can go and do it to the Cooped Up, but I don't recommend doing that because he still won't post any fucking nudes. Fuck you, Kyle. Anyway, Patreon was originally what's the word I'm looking for here? It was built up as a platform to actually donate to sex workers, believe it or not. It was actually pretty much focused on that. And then they kind of, as soon as the platform got big, they got way more restrictive on, like, you know, that kind of content on that platform as far as, like, porn and sex work goes, and they just shifted over to artists kind of using them. OnlyFans almost did that last year, if anybody remembers, where
Yeah.
they tried to get rid of like all the porn on the platform, and you would realizing that that was what the platform was, even if that wasn't originally what it was intended to be. They didn't do that. Tumblr, for those who remember Tumblr, was a huge hotspot for pretty much all, like, you know, the people with, you know, sexualities that were made up, as well as ones that people just genuinely hadn't heard of, among other things. It's, you know, where, like, you know, all the people who make the dumbass attack helicopter jokes about, like, you know, people's gender orientation.
I still
Those
find
were
hilarious.
the people. Those were the people that they were making fun of. The people who were saying, like, oh, there's actually, like, a million genders and stuff, like those fucking
Yeah.
people. They all went to Twitter, because what happened is that Tumblr, for those who remember why Tumblr completely died and fell off the face of the earth, it's because they got rid of porn. And
Yeah.
gone. How often do you watch porn on Pornhub anymore? Really? Ever since they got rid of those, they got rid of every single non-verified account, which they were right to do because people posted revenge porn and underage shit on there. But at the same time, how often do you jack off on there anymore? I don't go on Pornhub very often at all, if I'm being honest.
I mean, if I'll add, like, I do, but it is the most dispassionate jerk off that I ever do. It's just like I can't sleep, and I just watch something, go, and then I just, like, after that, just I go to bed.
Yeah, but
like,
I don't like the
it
idea
is-
of people approving my jerk-offs. You know what I mean? It's just, I need a little check mark.
I literally, like, even, like, just jerking off nowadays. I feel as if jerking off obviously is, like, you know, different when you're older compared to when you're younger. Like, for me, it's kind of like my sleeping pill. It's like, and then after that, I go to bed.
Yeah, just a quick one.
Like-
You also have a girl, so like when you actually need to genuinely relieve yourself, you have your woman to make love to. So like that's also a different story. But
No,
point
that's
is,
fair.
social media platforms change in a variety of ways. Usually, I don't know if you noticed, but for a lot of them, there was a pattern where there was one big drastic change that killed it.
Mm.
And I don't think that's gonna happen here. A lot of people online right now are really blowing this out of proportion. You know, a lot of them are saying, again, they're gonna leave the platform, blah, blah, blah. I really don't think most of them are gonna do that. But again, social media is kind of a different thing. It's not like a leader getting elected or anything. But Musk's his main critique about Twitter today, and it sounds kind of dangerous when you put it in this perspective. This is what everybody's freaking out about. He feels that it's too restrictive. And he says that under his ownership, he suggested that Twitter would treat content a little more permissively, like pivoting away from content removals and account bans and stuff like that. He said he wants to get rid of like all the bots, but he wants to like open up Twitter's algorithm more to like public review so that more users could understand how it makes decisions. Which is kind of like the opposite of what YouTube does. You know, there are some YouTubers who just understand the algorithm, and a lot of them don't, and that's why they don't pave their way through, and that's why our shitty little show only gets like, you know, however many like double-digit views, whatever. But it's not clear. Because the thing is, Musk has also donated a lot of money to conservatives in the past, just because he is a billionaire, and those conservatives are the people who want him to get even richer than he already is. A lot of people's absolute biggest concern right now, and I think it's actually kind of a valid one, is that he is going to unban Trump. And I believe Musk said that he actually wasn't going to do this, but that could easily be a lie. And Donald Trump has said is that if he was unbanned on Twitter, that he wouldn't go back, which could also be a lie. You never know. They're both just relatively unpredictable, you know, rich assholes, frankly. So the thing is, though, is the impact that could have on the future as well as the future of politics, because Twitter.com is what got Donald Trump elected, my dudes. Like, it was him riling up people on that thing with, like, the blatant misinformation that he had and, like, you know, just the very wild out tweets, like, cancel this person should be in jail, you know, Hillary this, Hillary that, like, all that, like, crazy, like, hyperbole to just really get the people, like, riled up and stuff. Twitter was his Mein Kampf, basically. And, like, if Elon Musk enables that again in not just in the name of free speech, which, by the way, is not what free speech means. Free speech just means the government cannot arrest you for what you say. It doesn't mean that there are no repercussions or consequences for what you say. That has never been what free speech has meant. That is not what free speech means now, and it is never what it will mean in the future. So, the thing is about that is that it's so impossible to tell if he's going to do that or not. Because if that's his intention, that's dumb, in my opinion, whatever. But it's also dumb for him because that is something that could actually genuinely harm the platform, which he just spent $44 billion on, which is about almost 1/5 of his net worth. So, that's a risk to him, too. I just think it's something open to speculation about because it's really hard to tell. Like, it's impossible to tell. Like, this could be something huge. This could be something drastic that's going to completely not only change Twitter, but change the internet. Or it could literally be nothing, and it could just be a way for, like, you know, Musk to just sort of make more money in the long run to see, like, what he's going to do with the platform or whatever. It's very hard to tell. And Twitter, unlike Patreon and OnlyFans, I guess, and all that stuff, those are huge platforms too. But Twitter, as far as social media goes, it's like one of, like, the main ones. It's like the one that's, like, right behind Facebook, basically, as being, like, the social media that people go on and use on a regular basis. I don't know what the actual numbers are or anything like that, but I think there are valid concerns, and I think there are some invalid concerns. So that's my point that I'm trying to make here, is that right now, people are nervous, but it's impossible to tell what's really going down right here. But with the stuff that Musk is saying, like, about, like, how he feels like Twitter is too restrictive, free speech, this and that, knowing how much of a shitposter he is, it's unnerving. You know, because of just how unpredictable the guy is. As well as just, just kind of obnoxious as well on top of that, considering the fact that the guy said he was going to pledge $6 billion to fight world hunger, and here he is buying Twitter for $44 billion. Like, this is... What? You know, it's just... I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing, but I don't know. And again, right here, it says Trump's reportedly said he will not return to Twitter if he's ever allowed back on the platform, but... It says relaxing enforcement of the types of policies that got him banned could affect more than just Trump. I mean, who knows? I mean, a lot of politicians obviously use Twitter. It's how a lot of people get their news immediately, you know, just because sometimes, like, things start trending on Twitter before the mainstream news gets there. I know that happened with an event that I was involved with relatively recently. Some of y'all can probably figure out what that was. But, you know, as far as, like, public events go. So it's just crazy. You know, it's honestly just crazy, and right now it's, like, so hard to just tell what's gonna happen, you know?
I also still think, too, that, like, you know, like, all we know so far is just that the deal went through, and nothing else has happened past that. And, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that people won't, like, speculate, like, as far as, like, what the long-term consequences are gonna be, but I still think that, like, you know, like, in the end, everyone still has a choice, too. Like, that if you don't like the platform, but if you are on it, then just, I guess, perhaps, maybe finding another one is a little bit too difficult, but at the same time, like, then if you don't like it, then just leave. No one's really forcing you to fucking be on there, and at the same time, if you do make your livelihood off of Twitter, and those people do exist, then suck it the fuck up and keep chasing that bag, I guess. But, like, I feel as if the people who, like, I'm not going to say, like, oh, the people who have the right to complain about it, but, like, I guess what I mean to say is that, like, the ones who are, I guess, complaining, or at least, like, kind of are fearful, and they're also low-key fear-mongering, like, this whole thing, like, just relax with it right now, because all we know is that he just bought the fucking company, and he hasn't really done anything else yet. I mean, again, as even David said, I do agree that he is a very unpredictable individual, and we really can't predict what the fuck his brain is gonna, like, tell him to do. And I almost feel as if, like, his brain is like a wind-up monkey, but the wind-up monkey has Einstein's face, because I like to think he is fairly, like, intelligent, but he's also just very much a wild card. But because I almost like to think, too, that, like, a lot of the things that he does is not just on a whim. I feel as if Musk is honestly, like, I think people literally call him, like, yeah, like, very unpredictable, but I also do think that he is very deliberate with a lot of the things that he does. Like, he does it for a reason. And I also think it's, like, not outside the realm of possibility that, yeah, maybe he will do something very drastic in the future. And for me personally, and it's the reason why that, like, I'm kind of glad that I'm not on Twitter, like, it doesn't affect me at all, because fuck Twitter anyways. Like, I never liked the platform to begin with, and I virtually don't like 90% of the people on it anyways. So, like, it just kind of goes to show you that, like, you know, what my attitude towards it is. Very kind of uncaring, nonchalant, and at the same time, it's like got like my little low key like chaotic evil in me that kind of just wishes that he would just like run the fucking platform into the ground. But again, like, you know, we don't really like, we can't really like, we all we could do is just speculate is all I'm saying. Like, we really can't go any further than that, and I feel as if any speculation now at this point, any further speculation now at this point would just be kind of just adding to the fear mongering. And but again, like, I say that as a person who has no stake in Twitter, and I couldn't give less of a fuck about the platform or the people on it. So like, you know, that's at least me. That's my position on it. But
yeah, the main thing he said was that and I'll directly quote the guy here. It says, "Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated." Musk said in the purchase announcement. "I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating the spam bots, and authenticating all humans. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it." He has also said that, like, hold up. What was that other thing? What was the other thing that he said right now? Something he said he hopes that even his worst critics remain on Twitter because that is what free speech means. And yeah, I mean, you all remember that, like, little stick figure comic? Yeah, you know that stick figure comic that always goes around whenever people cry about, like, free speech or whatever, whenever, like, an election comes around and all. It's a pretty famous comic at this point, like a little 6-panel comic. It's a little stick figure. It's basically just explaining what free speech means. And at the very least, as far as, like, America goes, I think free speech is one of the most overused, misunderstood, and political fucking cop-out shitty calling cards. The worst one since, like, 9/11. To gain sympathy points or whatever. Saying, free speech, the bedrock of a functioning democracy. Now, I'm not the president anymore, but if I was, I'd say the same thing Elon's saying. But he's got too much money. Should give some of that to poor people and shit. Like me. Now, I'm not the fucking president anymore. Where's my billion, Elon? Where's my Tesla? I want that shit.
I put a down payment.
Man, these two guys, Danny and Arnold. But yeah, fuck, what was I just saying? I went on with a stupid joke.
I don't know where you were going with that.
Fuck, where was I going? Shit. Shit. Oh yeah, the free speech thing. At least in America, as far as it goes, what free speech actually means, because there's a lot of people who think, like, you know, or my free speech, or my freedoms, or I can say whatever I want, any homophobic slurs and racist shit. If you censor me, that means you don't like America. You know, just the one-track mind, you know, like political ideology. What free speech actually means is that you can say whatever you want, and the government cannot arrest you. That is what that shit means. It means the government cannot stop you from saying that. I can say Biden's a cuck. I can fucking say that. You know how many countries where it's just like you're done as soon as you say that shit? Like those kids who got in China who got fucking arrested and detained forever after they said that Xi Jinping fucking looked like Winnie the Pooh. Which, by the way, he does.
He really do.
He really do, a little bit. Just like the, honey. Are you happy to see me, Mr. Biden?
We gotta go and round up the Uyghurs.
Stop.
Oh, shit.
Don't spill your drink. Oh, man. What it actually means is that you can say whatever you want and the government cannot stop you. It does not fucking mean that you can just say whatever you want all the time without any fucking repercussions, or anything like that. It doesn't mean that anybody has to listen to your bullshit or host you while you share it. You don't like what I'm saying right now? You can turn the fucking Double D experience off. Don't do that, please. Please
We're
don't.
trying to feed the algorithm here.
Yes, we're trying to feed, which apparently Elon's going to help us do. So let's go. The First Amendment doesn't shield you from criticism or consequences. You could be yelled at, boycotted, get your show canceled like the Double D Experience or whatever, get banned from a fucking internet community, which has happened plenty of times.
Dude, I wish we got canceled.
What's up?
I wish we got canceled.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Why do you want us to get canceled?
Because it'll put us on the map.
Oh, you meant
and then we'll come back like 6 months later and as if nothing happened.
You meant like internet canceled. I thought you meant we just can't do the show anymore. No, you mean canceled as in controversy canceled.
Yeah.
And then we make a YouTuber apology video like...
No, not even. We would just come back after 6 months.
Well, guys...
We would just pretend as if nothing happened. We'd just be like, hey, yo, David, so good vacation we had, right? Anyways, yeah, we just get back right to it. And then everyone will still get mad. It's like, they're not going to apologize.
Wait, wasn't the Asian dude the one who said fat? No, that wasn't him. That wasn't him. Nothing happened. What are you talking about? No, pretty sure he definitely said fat. No.
Getting controversy canceled is like the most like kindergarten form of canceled ever. Nothing happens. Like, nothing actually happens. No. Because, look, it'd be one thing if I got caught, like, let's say, grooming a girl. But it'd be another thing if I just was, like, saying something that was, like, kind of running the line between, like, kind of controversial and, like, horrendously racist.
That's what you mean. Oh, yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, if I'm, like, running that line, and if, like, let's say I get canceled, I'll be like, hey, yo, David, so 6 months in Tahiti, right? You and me, we going, right? We just fucking off, and then we just come back as if nothing happened. And then... after that, we just go right on to, let's say if it was episode 69, we just go right to episode 70 as if nothing happened. And, like, everyone will still be just fuming and flaming us, and it'll just be like, just completely ignore them. And then we just keep going, and then eventually the hatred just dies away because it's just like, we're just not acknowledging it.
No, I get that. Because I was confusing it with, like, doing, like, actual, like, heinous shit or whatever.
No. Like,
dude, I know a lot of people who got...
That's what I'm saying. There's, like, levels to it. Like, as far as like getting controversy canceled, like as far as like something like I said that like was kind of running the line between like I said controversial and then horrendously racist or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like if we run that line and if let's say someone does like call me out on it, I'd be like, okay, and then just you and me over go on vacation, and then we just come back like as if nothing happened. And
like y'all think I'm gonna sit Dennis down and be like, listen, man, you know I love you. But I gotta do what we gotta do.
So
it's just not okay in 2022. You know what I mean?
And David's like, so dude, I got two choices for you: Havana or DR.
Amsterdam.
Or Amsterdam.
And Amsterdam's liberal as fuck. They'll know. They'll hear about it.
Oh yeah. Sure. But then,
what am I saying right now?
They'll not know who the fuck we look like.
And even if they do, it's not gonna matter. All right, dude, that would literally be like me in Spider-Man 1. It's like I'm choosing between Mary Jane and saving the school bus of kids. Like I'm just like, I got like one in each hand. Like, no, Dennis. Meanwhile, the Green Goblin, which is basically just Twitter, is standing up there at the top. You have a choice, Spider-Man.
So that quote that he has with him up on the roof, where it's like, despite everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. Like it literally is like what Twitter is.
Fuck, he was right.
Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin had some of the biggest bars of like just straight up life, and it ended up being that, especially like a lot of the stuff that he said ended up being true anyways. With at least No Way Home.
Yeah.
So.
William Dafoe has some of the biggest bars, and apparently he's got like some of the biggest dick in Hollywood, like from that article that came out.
I think he probably I would like to think that he has the biggest ninja dick, because it's just like.
You think he's got like a needle?
No. Like nobody ever expects it. Like looking at Willem Dafoe, but then the people who've seen it, they got like legit like surprised, like how a ninja would like just like surprise you. Like,
well, according to that article, that shower scene that he was in, that's what happened. That they needed to get like a different person because his cock was like, just so huge.
Fucking elephant trunk, like holy shit, fucking baby arm of a cock. Like
Gabriel Iglesias had a same story about Matthew McConaughey. Apparently Matthew McConaughey also has like a giant dick. Not surprised, to be honest. I'm gonna be real. I'm not surprised at all. But anyway, like, I get what you're saying, because like I know a lot of smashers who got canceled for literally grooming and sleeping with underage people when like the 2020 Me Too wave in that community happened. And then there's like JonTron, who people are still acting like he got canceled. Each of his videos gets like 12 million views, like
He couldn't give us
immediately.
a fuck.
Nothing happened. Like nothing happened to him. He had a controversy. He's still there. He's fine. Like nothing
He's still
fucking
making
happened.
money. Like, yeah.
I'll admit I don't watch him anymore just because
Yeah.
he does like more movie shit now. Like his old gaming content is what I really liked. I mean, I'm sure I'll definitely peep out some of his stuff eventually in the future, but
I still
whenever-
watch some of his old stuff too every now and then. I just have it
Dude,
playing on my other monitor.
John
Like,
Tron's old videos, like those compilations, took me out of a very, very, very dark place back in like 2016. His fucking gaming videos is literally, to this day, some of the funniest content I've ever watched in my life. I'm just gonna say it. But regardless, I get what you mean by that. But the free speech, it's not that like, you know, your free speech rights aren't being violated if you're yelled at or boycotted or show canceled or whatever. Literally all it means is just that the people listening, guess what? They think you're an asshole.
yeah.
And they're showing you the door. That's it. And I'm hoping that what he means by free speech is that he's not going to let people just come in, or like rampant, huge political figures just come in and just spew rampant misinformation again. But he hasn't said anything on that yet. All he just says is like, I want Twitter to be a better platform for free speech, It's like, what does he mean by that? We
It's
don't
typical
know.
Corpo,
We
like
don't
type of
know.
like it's like typical corpo, like kind of talking, like at least in public. Like it's how they all talk. Like they usually just like how it usually goes is that their handlers would actually tell them straight up, like, okay, say this, don't say anything else. Literally, don't even expand on anything that you said. Just reiterate it. Like it's just like how in South Park, fucking, you know, Hillary got fed those lines. It's like my opponent is a crook and blah blah blah. And like she just kept repeating that over and over and over again because they don't want accountability. Because it leaves them open, obviously, to even more further criticism. But if they keep it vague enough, they always know. Like it's like a tried and tested strategy for a lot of public figures. Like they say, let's say, like they make the statement. Yeah, Elon made the statement of like, you know, oh, I want to make Twitter a better place. And if someone asks them to further expand on it, they don't. Because even he has no idea what the fuck that means at this point.
Yeah,
And-
it's PR. It's a PR statement,
Yeah.
you know?
And so that's why, like, I feel as if like all the stuff that he's saying is just kind of like, it really is still up in the air. We really don't know anything other than the fact that like making Twitter a better place, like that doesn't mean anything to us because we don't even know what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
So like, and for me, again, I care even less because like, you know, I don't give a fuck about Twitter, but like, you know, for the people who do, like, that's what that means. That's what at least how I'll explain it to you. Like, you know,
He did say within the bounds of the law, though. He says it's just really important that people have the reality and the perception that they're able to speak freely within the bounds of the law. Interesting. I think broadly, the civilizational risk is decreased the more we can increase the trust of Twitter as a public platform, though he's technically taking it more private. Very interesting. You know, this is just interesting stuff, honestly. Like, this is a huge deal. It's another one of those huge billionaire deals that's coming out here, so...
it's one for the history books for sure.
Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. Like, it's just, again, like, a lot of things historically significant, like, you know, we still remains to be seen. Like,
Because
at least in the
conservatives are
present.
celebrating it. They're already they're celebrating it, like thinking like I think they think the same thing. I think they think he's just gonna like let people like come in, say whatever they want, and
Open
there's
the
been a lot of
floodgates, essentially.
platforms. No, but that's the thing. There's been a lot of platforms that have like opened the floodgates, like Trump's Truth social network. That
Yeah,
he
yeah.
fucking made after Twitter banned him or whatever. That shit's already dead. You know, literally all it is that it's
In the water. Dead in the water.
literal most echo chamber website in the history of echo chamber websites. It's designed for fucking Trump tards. That's what it was
Poorly
made
designed, Poorly designed from what I heard, too.
As well
Like,
as that as well.
bug-ridden as fuck.
For. Of course it is.
Holy
Like,
shit.
dude, all of his shit is like, you know, the money that, you know, because, you know, Trump obviously, you know, like, obviously, you know, rich person, whatever. He's actually broke, you know, because of like his horrible business decisions and deals and all that stuff and like the money he owes to porn stars and shit. It's like obviously all the millions of scandals that he's had. But there's also been a bunch of other platforms that have promised the same thing, like absolute free speech, absolutist, come say whatever. And literally all that ever happens is that it just draws in the racists. That's all that happens every fucking time.
Because-
And then the platform dies.
Because, like, racists like that, always need an echo chamber.
Yeah.
They need to always have like their own little safe space that they always require to go and say all the heinous shit that they want.
Which is so fucking ironic considering that they're the ones who always are out here calling people snowflakes for feeling like you need a safe space and you're your avocado toast and shit like that. You can't handle anything that's different than you. Meanwhile, they're the ones who literally spend the most time in echo chambers and are trying to get rid of shit like race theory in schools and shit, or talking about gay stuff with like talking about like gay people or whatever with kids and stuff like that. It's like I'm not trying to take a stand here because like I lean a little liberally, but I like to think I'm more of a centrist like Dennis, to be honest. But like most of the time, like they're the ones doing the snowflake shit.
Yeah.
From what I see, they're the ones who are trying to cancel things and then they cry about cancel culture.
Yeah.
I don't fucking understand it. It's just like so hypocritical.
Like I said though, like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree as well. Like
obviously,
a lot of these guys, they're very much the same mindset. It's just like their platforms are just a little different. They operate in the same way. They like always love to just like finger point and say, "Oh, he did this and he did that. I don't like this and I don't like that." It goes both the same way. But like obviously, like I hate calling myself a centrist because it sounds just so like.
Label. I didn't mean to label you in that way.
No, it's not even like that. It just sounds so like I can't say it. I can't say it without it being censored.
Say it.
But it sounds faggy to me. Like I feel as if anyone who even says like, who says like, "Oh yeah, I'm a liberal and a conservative," I almost feel as if like, at least for me, it's gone so out of fashion now because like the label itself for me means nothing anymore. Like, it feels as if, like, there is, like, no meaning. Because all you people, at least the far extremes, like, of both sides, all y'all are the same. You just fight about different things. And it's, like, your way of operating, like, things and even interacting with people are all the same. All y'all, like, love to just, like, scream out that this person's a Nazi or this person's a communist. And I'm like... if you really look into it further, like just a little bit more into these two groups, they're really much the same people. They're the same fucking people. Like they just speak slightly different languages and then that's it. And I almost feel as if like even having to want to label yourself as like, let's say a liberal or a conservative is some of the most gayest and pointless beta shit that I've ever heard in my life. Like, I honestly feel as if, like, the very fact that people just don't care for their own people. Like, why can't that be its own thing when you have to basically put a label on everything? And I also even think, like, I think liberals and conservatives even, like, are not that much well off from each other. Like, one's not really that much better than the other, in my opinion. At least, again, like, the far extremes. And
I want to say that most Americans feel the same way now.
Because they're tired of it, I feel. Like, oh, like, you're this and you're that. I'm like, how about I'm fucking Dennis Chung and you go fuck yourself?
Yeah, like, why do you have to align all of your values with one party? Because that's dumb. You know what I mean? Like, you're just fitting people into that sort of, like, box or whatever that they have to, like, check off one or two against each other. Literally all that does is divide people even further when then, you know, the same country releases bullshit like the Emoji Movie. where the whole notion is
what
like...
do you mean? That was a hallmark success of cinema history, David.
Shut the fuck up.
It's the greatest movie of all time.
Dude,
what year did that come out?
Dude, Ian McKellen literally plays shit in it. He's literal shit in that fucking movie. He's literal shit. He plays the poop emoji. God. The point is like, when they send this message, like, why do I be just one emoji? Like, and like, why do you have to be just one thing or whatever, which, you know, basic standpoint for any children animated film that, you know, you just want to use as a simple cash cow. So why, when we're adults, we're expected to line all of our political views with one of the parties? I think liberally on some things. I think some things I probably think conservatively as well. I think like David. You know what I mean? You don't have to just go one way or the other, man. But then like on social media, like, it's just fucking all of that up.
Yeah.
It's just fucking all of that up. It's another reason I like podcasts, when you can hear a human's voice better rather than just seeing something from behind the lines. It's like, ugh, whatever.
And I also get to say whatever I want, and you guys just sit there and take it. So that's also another thing that I love about it.
Yep.
I'm in my own fucking echo chamber. Yeah, you may say like, oh, we'll see who's the hypocrite now. And I'm like, I never said I wasn't. I never said I wasn't.
And I'm not necessarily I don't like to think of myself as an echo chamber for Dennis since I'm the other person in the call, obviously. But I don't know. I have the power. I will censor every word he says in this podcast. That's the whole time you just listen. It's like
It's like if this podcast was
exactly, dude. Oh, what do you think, dude? What did you think about that tweet?
It's like if this podcast was made in fucking China. I swear to fucking God, like half the shit that we say on here would probably just be bleeps.
Dude, I literally talked about Xi Jinping. I literally talked about Xi Jinping. I called him Winnie the Pooh in this fucking podcast. Of course he would censor it. But whatever. I guess speaking of the Emoji Movie, the smash hit from Illumination Films, we also have some other news about Illumination Films today as we advance from this topic over to the next one. The Mario movie, the Super Mario... What's up?
Right before you say what happened, I will do a drum roll. Say,
okay.
Go. Build it up.
Okay, the Mario movie, set to release at the end of 2022 in December, already planned for the Double D Experience review featuring Koopa of the Cooped Up podcast, has been delayed to spring of 2023. Set to be a big month for Nintendo, they would also be releasing Breath of the Wild 2, since it also got delayed to that same time.
Okay.
Let me read the tweet.
Okay, yeah. David will read the tweet. I was going to say the tweet. So David will read the tweet.
I got it, dog. Tweety tat.
I want to be the first one to kind of give my thoughts on this.
Okay, go for it.
I think it is a genius move.
So they opened up. Yeah, I think it's probably for the best too.
2023 is gonna be their fucking. I mean, it's already kind of maybe low key their year this year, but like 2023 is definitely gonna be their year because they're gonna have two bangers.
Exactly.
I mean, potentially. I don't know.
And I think there's reasonings. I think there's reasons that they're delaying those bangers, which we'll get to in a bit. Dennis will give his thoughts, but basically the way they announced this is.
Wait, you know the way Miyamoto wrote it? It made it sound as if somebody died within the company. Like I swear to God, that shit like was a eulogy or something.
Hey guys,
like when he wrote it.
After consulting with my friend, I think it'd be better if I stepped away for a while. Like that's how it sounded. Like here's what the actual tweet said.
Yeah.
The @Nintendo of America, official Nintendo of America account on Twitter, literally tweeted, "This is Miyamoto. After consulting with Chris-san, my partner at the Rumination on the Super Mario Bros. Film, we decided to move the global release to spring of 2023, April 28th in Japan, and April 7th in North America. My deepest apologies, but I promise to be well worse than the wait."
So
it opened with "This is Miyamoto." Like, we had to know it was him specifically. They couldn't have just tweeted, like, the Mario movie got delayed because it's shitty right now. We have to make it better.
Well,
or that the Sonic movie is... Go ahead.
But you also know that the president probably told, he probably told Miyamoto that you have to be the one to say it. Because the president right now of Nintendo is not the face of the company. That's Miyamoto and, like, a lot of the other guys, like Aonuma and stuff. So,
this
like,
guy's fucking low-key. He's not like Iwata, where, like, you know, Iwata was out there on the front face. Like, in my heart, I'm a gamer. You know,
Iwata,
but, like, this guy's just never touched
him. Like, Iwata had his finger in each pie. Like, he literally would make himself, like, try to get involved in projects, even though he was already the president of the fucking company.
Mm-hmm.
Which tells you already, like, he's, like, a different breed of CEO already right off the bat.
Yeah.
And obviously, too, like, everyone also knows the story of how, like, you know, everyone else got a pay cut. He took a pay cut too.
Yep, I remember that.
Which, you know, is fucking unheard of in, like, the history of CEOs, in my opinion. So, I feel as if definitely, like, the president being low-key that he is, like, he couldn't have been the one to, like, say this fucking news. Because also, nobody really likes him. I don't think really anyone even knows, like, if he exists, honestly. He's so low-key.
I forgot his name. Yeah.
And, like, to be fair, too, if I was him, like, I'd rather not... If I could, like, let's say, have the possibility of not having a massive presence, like, online, I would, because, you know, I care for my privacy. But
yeah.
in the also, like, being, like, the CEO, a very public, you know, a figure of a company, like, I figure, like, maybe you'd like, and it's considering also what Nintendo is, like I figured like maybe he'd try, but I guess he just said like no, fuck that, like basically just relegated all that shit to like thing on Miyamoto and just said no, you do that, and you and Aonuma and whoever else, like you guys do that. So yeah, so Nintendo has essentially, probably in my opinion, has looked at that rough cut of the movie and said, hell the fuck no, are we going to be showing this like at all? Like, I really think they brought the bigwigs from Nintendo Japan and like they probably sat him down and did that private screening and they did not like what they saw.
If I was Illumination, I would be shaking in my boots knowing this is the day that those fuckers are coming to the studio to watch this.
Exactly. And not to mention too, and Japanese people are very, very upfront and honest people with criticism. And like I think just East Asians in general, like they're very blunt and to the point when it comes to like they don't beat around the bush. And I know for a fact that Miyamoto's a very outspoken person, and he really, people seem to forget this about him. But I really
reminder
do think
that Dennis is Korean, by the way. He can.
Yeah, so I'm not Japanese.
Yeah,
so
no, he can fucking say that. He can say East Asians are blunt. I can say East Asians are blunt. Fuck you.
Yeah, like we're very blunt people, and like I really, and people also seem to forget sometimes that like Miyamoto is a very blunt person himself. He's gone on and said some very brutally honest things like on record. And
can I read my favorite Miyamoto quote?
Go ahead, but I just also want to say, like, you know, I really feel like, dude, he was very like just dug right into them with whatever the fuck he saw like during that screening. I know he was.
Go on,
like,
keep going.
Yeah. And I really also personally feel like, you know, it's a great thing that movies and such things as games as well can be delayed, because I swear to fuck, if this like if I was Illumination right now, I would be over the fucking moon. And chances are there will be reshoots. I guarantee you there will be tons of shit that like people, we still haven't even seen the trailer yet, so we really got nothing to go on at all about like this movie. We have nothing other than the fucking movie poster. So like we really have nothing. I have nothing to base this off of, because obviously, you know, I'm not gonna go on here and say, oh yeah, I was there during the private screening. I saw the movie. It was god awful. Like, I don't work for Illumination. I don't work for Nintendo. But
Nintendo would not even they wouldn't DMCA you if you said that. They would literally, Dennis, they would come to your house and they'd assassinate you.
Like, I have a window in my room. The SWAT team, Nintendo SWAT team, they'll have the fucking Mushroom Kingdom like mushroom on their
Mushroom
fucking
Kingdom red dot sight.
Yeah, like they have like Princess Peach's mushroom like on the fucking helmet, and they'll like just burst through my fucking windows and probably gun me down like right where I'm sitting without any hesitation.
In the middle of the call too, like I'm screaming I'm screaming on the other end like, Dennis, no, you bastards, you fucking killed him.
So as far as the year's concerned, at least for 2023, definitely is gonna be Nintendo's year.
Yeah.
And I feel as if now it may be even more solidified now, because the fact that the reshoots tell me, or at the very least, the fact that it's being delayed tells me that, oh, they saw the movie, or they saw a rough cut of it at the very least, and they did not like what they saw, and they told Illumination to go back to the drawing board and do it to as per their like make the movie as per Nintendo specifications. Because I know for a fact that Nintendo has probably more creative control over the movie than Illumination themselves. Illumination for them is just, you make the movie because we don't know how to make movies, but we're gonna tell you how to make the movie because that's our IP, and you're gonna do as we say. And Illumination basically said, after collecting that check, okay, all right then. And I already have a feeling that was already previously stated in their contract too, when they also made the deal. Yeah. And I'm very hopeful personally. Like, I am kind of happy that they did delay it, because that just tells me that, you know, at the very least, like, Nintendo themselves want this thing to succeed. They want it to do well, because this wasn't just like, I personally thought that when they like gave Illumination the movie, it was just kind of like them saying, all right, yeah, go. Yeah, go nuts. Like, it's just like they didn't care about it, but like now I know for a fact, like, confirmed that they do give a shit, because they probably saw that cut and they said no, this is dog water, and I wouldn't even show this to my kids. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, and I'm rambling a bit, but like, yeah, like, I think just to wrap up my rambling, I really do feel like they saw the cut, they did not like it, and it's the reason why that I probably felt as if, like, yeah, Miyamoto and a bunch of the other bigwigs, like, probably like, was just like, no, this is not being released this winter. Hell the fuck no.
Yes, and I'm pretty happy about that too for the most part, but the transparency or the lack of it is interesting because, like, Nintendo, I mean, they actually are under no obligation to actually say, like, hey, we saw the movie, it didn't meet up to the standards, blah, 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 but first of all, I don't think they would say that because that would set, the internet ablaze, be like, wow, this shit sucked or whatever, even though Sega, was way more open about that, but again, thank God YouTube dislikes weren't removed 2 years ago, or God knows how fucking horrendous the Sonic movie would have been, and we wouldn't have had Sonic 2, which, if you guys listened to our show last week, which please do, it was a great episode where we had Koopa on the show to talk about the Sonic 2 movie. We really liked it for the most part, but I feel like that's different. Because if you remember when they did the same thing with Metroid Prime 4, and they got on, like, the Nintendo Direct or whatever, and they straight up said, guys, hear us out. Like, the game was really, really bad. Like, we went to the studio and we checked it, and they literally straight up said, direct fucking quote, this did not meet the quality that Nintendo presents for our AAA titles. Like, they literally said it's not good enough for us, and so they scrapped it. The whole thing, knowing damn well it's going to be fucking years before that until that game comes out now. I still think Prime 4 is going to be probably one of the last games on the Switch, if we're being honest, with the way that it's going, especially now that we're more than halfway through the Switch's lifespan. But for a movie, it's different, because, like, a lot of people are already having their doubts about the movie. Nobody was having their doubts about Prime 4 in that way, which is probably why they didn't say, like, oh, we went in to go, like, watch the film or whatever, and the film wind up sucking, and that's why we're delaying it or whatever, because that would have caused way more of a shitstorm than the Prime 4 thing, in my opinion, in a negative way online. That being said, I do think they delayed this game for the same, this movie, my mistake. I do think they delayed this movie for the same reason that they delayed Breath of the Wild 2. Beyond the fact that it will improve the quality, that they have more development time or whatever, which Nintendo, again, with the Metroid Prime 4 thing, they're very huge on. No company is more protective of their intellectual property than fucking Nintendo, baby. Like, they will delay the shit out of their games if it's
next
good.
to the mouse, Nintendo's very protective of their fucking IPs.
They will delay the shit out of their games if it means it'll be good, because, the direct Miyamoto quote that I chose not to cut you off with before,
No, yeah, go ahead.
A rushed game is forever bad. A delayed game is also bad. Video games are bad. I fucking hate my life. Fuck you. The actual quote Miyamoto says, like, a rushed game is forever bad. A delayed game is eventually good. Blah, 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 the whole thing. And he's absolutely right about that. I mean, except now there are patches that can change that kind of stuff, but not that gamers like that practice. But anyway, Breath of the Wild 2 had absolutely no fucking chance of winning Game of the Year this year.
Elden Ring
was gonna destroy it. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you're right.
And Breath of the Wild 1, if you remember, won Game of the Year. A Zelda game, like the fucking, like, foundation for, like, those kinds of, like, open world, fantasy world, like, video games that came after it. It's like, okay, like, a bunch of other companies did what they did and improved on that formula immediately. Like, where's Zelda's place in this, this ecosystem now? So the fact that Zelda won, like, dude, oh my god, I remember Enuma, like, they were popping off in their seats, like, when the game won. They literally, it was like they won a fucking, like, they won, like, the latest Smash tournament or whatever. Like, they were like, yeah, like, all three of them were, like, jumping up, popping off, and it's like watching them in the directs and then seeing them pop off that hard when their game won. It's like, that was really heartwarming. Like, to watch that when that happened. they knew that they were not going to have that moment again this year.
Yeah, with Elden Ring.
With Elden Ring, no. So I real shit, this sounds petty, but I think that's part of the reason they delayed it.
No. I think it's strategic as hell.
Exactly.
Like, it has to be.
And so for the Mario movie, let's take a look at how much money that Sonic 2 made in the box office.
We're going into the statistics.
Yeah, it's about 141 million, I believe, at just the international box office, set to do about 300 million global pretty soon.
Fucking hell, man.
I think they thought they weren't going to beat that, and I think they thought if the Mario movie didn't beat the Sonic movie in that year, as far as, like, you know, box office sales were, they were probably going to be like, all right, that's shit.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's embarrassing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, a real shit, besides the fact of quality standards, which I'm feeling more comfortable with on the day, I actually watched Minions. It was on TV the other day. And for a movie where, like, the protagonist of the movie, like, talk, like, really fast, lo siento. Para ti. Like, they're actually speaking Spanish really fast, the Minions. Like, the way they make it sound like gibberish. For a movie where, like, the protagonist literally, like, you don't understand what they're saying the entire time, for a full feature-length film, to make that good, that's hard. And I enjoyed it. I liked the Minions movie. It was a cute little film. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. And it was fun. It was actually very pleasing to look at for the most part, especially with Illumination's animation style. And that's what struck out to me the most. The more I watch Illumination, and I said this last week on the show as well, like, again, for the Sonic 2 episode review that we did with Koopa, which bumped the viewership on that one, guys, please.
Please check it out.
I really do think Illumination, I was so iffy on, like, Nintendo picking them at first. Now I'm fully confident that they were the best studio they could have gone with. Especially after Dennis sent me all of those GIFs of Chell from Road to El Dorado from DreamWorks. Because God knows they can't draw Peach that sexy. They can't do it.
Nintoonist, can you, like, just throw a real seductive picture of her? Like,
I'll put no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna put the GIF on. It's gonna be animated.
Please.
It's gonna be animated.
They had no right to make this freaking Mesoamerican chick look the way she. Why did they drew the lines like that? Like, why? Dude, I watched this movie when I was a fucking child. And it awakened something in me. Like, I am not capping right now. My fucking girlfriend is Peruvian and Salvadorian. Like, it's not a fucking secret as to what awakened in me when I saw this fucking character. Just look at her hips. I hope you still have the GIF playing. Like, look at her. Just look at her.
Each one at a time.
Like, fucking hell.
Oh.
Dude.
Yeah, I've never even seen the movie, and Dennis sent me those GIFs and, like, the compilation that person on YouTube made of, like, the road of Chell's seduction or whatever. Like that video you sent me of Jane, of Jane and her never-ending quest to, like, hop on Tarzan with, like, the text on screen. That video was fucking hilarious. At the end, she kisses him and she's just like, I did it.
Dude, Jane and Tarzan was low-key a thought. I'm not even capping with that. Dude, have you seen the movie? Like, she, like, bites her lips. Like, she bites her bottom lip, like whenever she sees
Tarzan. What does make her a thought? She just wants to fuck the monkey man.
No.
What's wrong with her wanting to fuck the monkey man?
No.
Dude, if she's a thought,
No,
listen.
She didn't want a man. She wanted, like, a man from the jungle. She didn't want.
Yeah,
like,
she got one.
No, I know exactly what I mean, though. Like, she a woman of the streets, even though she thinks she's, like, some posh ass, like, British lady, like, who's educated and fuck. Like, no, she's she's a freak in the sheets. I know she is. Like, I'm surprised because, like, you know, a little off topic. There was a show that they did of Tarzan, like, and Jane, like, way back when, and I'm surprised they didn't have kids in that show because, like, dude, if I was Tarzan, I'd be fucking Jane.
I think you're thinking of George of the Jungle.
No. There was a Tarzan and Jane show on
real?
Disney. Yeah. And, dude, if I was Tarzan, man, like, Tarzan is, like, effectively, like, just, like, it's like, I love white women.
Anyway, the
Tarzan
point is,
but
I'm a thought. More thoughts for like and Chell, bro. She's sexy as shit. So, point is, I think that's why. Like, and we don't care if it's a drawing. Come on, it's a visual experience. Like, people have that kind of experience. We're not freaks for that. It's the same thing as, like, people saying, like, oh, there's such crude humor. You can't laugh at, you're laughing at this, whatever. You're so immature, whatever. In my opinion, you're the one that's brain dead for not laughing at certain things.
Get over yourselves.
I besides the fact that they want the quality to be great, which they have delayed multiple things. Metroid Prime 4, Breath of the Wild 2, now the Mario movie. All delayed. All delayed, like, vastly. Not as big of delays as, like, Metroid Prime 4 was, but, you know, that was a special case. I besides the fact that they want the quality to be good, I literally think they did it because I think they realize it has a much higher chance of success if it comes out next year. I really think they realize that at this point, so...
Yeah, no game's beating Elden Ring a Game of the Year this year.
It's not. It's really just not. Like... So, like, just peel that Band-Aid off now if you're an Elden Ring hater.
Yeah.
Like, just let's take that off right now. So, yeah, honestly, that's how we feel about that and the Mario movie, and that's how we feel in general about life. If you have a fucking problem with that, events. You could turn. If you have a fucking problem with that, turn off the show right now. Which would be the best time to, because that's the end.
Yeah, we're wrapping up today, guys.
Yeah.
And, we're gonna throw up our plugs like bing, bang, boom. Right up here, you can check us out on I was gonna say Facebook. I always do that. I always fucking do that. You can check us out on
www.elonmusk.com.
Yeah. You can check us out on Tesla.com. You can check us out on Instagram as well. You gotta go and wherever else you go for your podcast, like Spotify, Google, and Apple. You guys can check us out on there. You can check us out on Anchor. Few of the other affiliates that we'll have down in the description down there. You'll also maybe boost up the fucking views on the last video. Come on, homies. Like, why you gotta why you gotta do us like that? But yeah, guys, today was low key a little like 90% current events and 10% horny today of an episode. Almost
as many people listened to the show on the other listening platforms than they did on YouTube for the Sonic 2 one. Actually got a pretty decent amount of views on Spotify. Is that where you fuckers went? Is that what y'all did?
No, you know why though? Because I feel if that, like, on the apps, you know, like how usually the apps are always in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
It's like you have to scroll one more for why. So it's just like fuck it. Like I'll just stop. Because people are lazy.
Hey, don't call the people lazy. It might be true, but don't say it.
All right, you're subconsciously lazy.
All right, we're done. Yeah, you can follow us on our socials, like Dennis said, at Double D Pod on Twitter, Double D Experience, at the Double D Experience 21 on Instagram.
Yes.
And subscribe to us on all our platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Radio Breaker. Leave us a good review on Apple Podcast. That really helps with our algorithms,
our metrics. Yep.
Which, you know, we understand fully now. Thank you, Elon. And yeah, and then subscribe to us at youtube.com/Nintoonist as well.
And worship Chell. Worship her, bro.
I'm trying to make some other content to get more you fuckers to listen to the show, all right? So stay tuned for that, all right?
Oh, yes.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We're going on too long at this point.
Gonna be having a 20-minute video essay as to why Chell is best girl for all of you. On David's
That's
channel.
like the Dennis Chung invasion of my channel. What are you talking about?
Oh my god, how much of a fucking like wrench would that be to your fucking like whole channel? Like, just everything's about Nintendo, and then you see like, why is Chell best girl?
Hey,
click and you'll find out.
Make a pretty clickbaity thumbnail.
Would be, yeah, dude. Like, gotta get like the Rule 34, but like clothed.
But censor it.
Yeah.
So like with
exactly.
the bleep set, like, maybe they'll show it. Maybe they'll show it if I click the video, even though I'm on fucking YouTube.
But
search up, guys, if you want a good real surprise, search up naked on YouTube, and you'll be very surprised at what you see.
Turn off your screen, and you'll see a horrendous motherfucker.
Lights off. Thank you guys for listening. Bye bye.